Very good morning to all of you. So this is G. Vijay Krishna, Assistant Professor in Mathematics of ASNH Department. Today I am going to discuss some important topics on Engineering Mathematics 2, particularly Mid-2 syllabus. Okay. So what are the topics in the today's class? Here we have two topics. One is convolution theorem, another one is Newton-Raphson method. Okay. So coming to the convolution theorem. Before going to the convolution theorem, first we have to explain. I am going to explain convolution. What is a convolution? So if you want to explain convolution, first we have to take two functions which are inverse Laplace transforms. So one is f of t and another one is g of t. Both are inverse Laplace transforms of f bar of s and g bar of s respectively. Okay, so then convolution of f of t and g of t is denoted by f of t star g of t. Okay, f of t star g of t. Right. So this is f of t star g of t. Right. So and it is defined as integral 0 to t f of u g of t minus u du. So this is convolution product. Finally, we got f of t star g of t equal to integral 0 to t f of u g of t minus u du. Right. So this is a convolution product. So how to denote convolution product? It is f of t star g of t. How to define convolution product? Integral 0 to t f of u g of t minus u du. Right. So now coming to the next slide. Right. So convolution product is always associative. Convolution product is always associative. What do you mean by associative? Associative, suppose f of t comma g of t comma h of t are three inverse Laplace, three functions, then their convolution product is f of t star g of t star h of t equal to f of t star g of t whole star h of t. So this is convolution product associative property. Okay, what do you mean by associative property? F of t star g of t star h of t equal to f of t star g of t whole star h of t. So this is associative property. Okay, so another one is convolution product is commutative. Convolution product is commutative. So commutative means f of t star g of t is equal to g of t star f of t. So both are same. That is convolution product is commutative. Commutative property means f of t star g of t equal to g of t star f of t. Okay. So first one is associative, second one is convolution product is commutative, third one any function, convolution product of any function with 0 gives only 0. Okay. That means 0 star f of t equal to 0. Okay, f of t star 0 equal to also 0. So convolution product of any function with 0 gives again 0. Okay, that is third one. Now coming to the fourth one, convolution product of any function with 1 doesn't gives the same function. Okay, that is 1 star f of t is not equal to f of t. Okay. So once again I will repeat, First one, convolution product is associative, that is f of t star g of t star h of t equal to f of t star g of t whole star h of t. Okay. Now second one, convolution product is commutative, that is f of t star g of t equal to g of t star f of t. Now third one, convolution product of any function with 0 gives 0, that is 0 star f of t and f of t star 0 gives equal to 0, right. Now fourth one, convolution product of any function with 1 is doesn't gives the same function, that means 1 star f of t is not equal to f of t. Okay. So all of you, you must remember all these four things. Okay. Now coming to the next slide. Now I am going to discuss convolution theorem. What is a convolution theorem? Clearly see the board here. L inverse of f bar of s equal to f of t and L inverse of g bar of s equal to g of t. Okay, both are inverse Laplace transforms. Then L inverse of f bar of s, g bar of s equal to f of t star g of t. What do you mean by f of t star g of t? It is nothing but convolution product. So already we know that f of t star g of t is equal to integral 0 to t f of u g of d minus u du, right. So finally by convolution theorem we have L inverse of f bar of s, g bar of s equal to integral 0 to t f of u g of t minus u du, right. So this is a convolution theorem. Now I am going to explain convolution theorem by taking problem. Okay. Right. So see the problem here. Evaluate L inverse of 1 by s into s plus 1 into s plus 2 by convolution theorem. Right. So if you want to evaluate L inverse of 1 by s into s plus 1 into s plus 2, first we have to consider f bar of s and g bar of s. Okay. Consider f bar of s equal to 1 by s into s plus 1. Another one, g bar of s equal to 1 by s plus 2. Okay. So after considering the f bar of s and g bar of s, calculate f of t and g of t. What is f of t? We already told in the previous slide, f of t is nothing but L inverse of f bar of s. So f of t equal to L inverse of f bar of s. Okay. So L inverse of, what is f bar of s? Already I am taking f bar of s is 1 by s into s plus 1. So write here 1 by s into s plus 1. Okay. So now L inverse of 1 by s into s plus 1. If you want to calculate L inverse of 1 by s into s plus 1, first we have to write the 1 by s into s plus 1 into partial fractions. Okay. So I am writing partial fractions as 1 by s minus 1 by s plus 1. Okay. So by applying the linearity property, we get L inverse of 1 by s minus L inverse of 1 by s plus 1. Okay. So L inverse of 1 by s, nothing but 1, minus L inverse of 1 by s plus 1 is e power minus t. So totally we have f of t equal to 1 minus e power minus t. Okay. Now we have to calculate g of t. Okay. G of t. So now g of t equal to L inverse of g bar of s. What is g bar of s? L inverse of 1 by s plus 2. Okay. 1 by s plus 2. L inverse of 1 by s plus 2 by the formula e power minus 2t. Okay. So finally we got f of t and g of t. What is f of t? F of t equal to 1 minus e power minus t. G of t equal to e power minus 2t. So after getting f of t and g of t, we have to apply convolution theorem. So what is the convolution theorem? So by convolution theorem, L inverse of 1 by L inverse of 1 by S into S plus 1 into S plus 2 equal to F of t star G of t. Okay. Why? Because what is the convolution theorem? Convolution theorem is L inverse of F bar of S G bar of S equal to F of t star G of t. So that's why I am writing L inverse of 1 by S into S plus 1 into S plus 2, which is nothing but L inverse of F bar of S and G bar of S, that equal to F of t star G of t. Okay. So what is F of t star G of t? Here we have F of t e power 1 minus e power minus t. Okay. Star G of t. What is G of t? E power minus 2t. Okay. So this is a convolution product of 1 minus e power minus t and e power minus 2t. Right. So it can be written as integral 0 to t. Okay. F of u. What is F of u? 1 minus e power minus u. Right. Into g of t minus u. E power minus 2 into t minus u du. Okay. Then integral 0 to t 1 minus e power minus u into here minus 2 into t minus u. When we multiply with minus 2, we get minus 2t plus 2u. So it is of the form a power m plus n. So already we know that a power m plus n can be written as a power m into a power n. So it can be written as e power m minus 2t into e power 2u du. Okay. So here e power minus 2t is constant. Why? Because it is independent of u. So it is a constant. So take outside. Then e power minus 2t into integral 0 to t 1 minus e power minus u into e power 2u du. Okay. Now multiply with e power 2u to this bracket. Then we get e power minus 2t integral 0 to t. When we multiply with e power 2u to the bracket, 1 into e power 2u, again e power 2u minus e power minus u into e power 2u, nothing but e power plus u by the formula a power m into a power n, a power m plus n, right, du. So e power minus 2t into integration integral e power 2u, e power 2u by 2 minus integral e power u, e power u. Okay. So now limits 0 to t. First apply upper limit in place of u. Then e power minus 2t into, when we apply the upper limit t in place of u, we get e power 2t by 2 minus e power t. Okay. Minus apply lower limit 0 in place of u. Okay. So then e power 2 into 0, e power 0, 1. So 1 by 2. Okay. So minus into this minus plus. Then e power 0, 1. Okay. So e power minus 2t into e power 2t by 2 minus e power t minus 1 by 2 plus 1 can be written as 1 by 2. Okay. So now take LCM 2. Then we get e power minus 2t by 2 into e power 2t minus 2 into e power t plus 1. Okay. Now multiply with e power minus 2t to the bracket. Then we have 1 by 2 into e power minus 2t into e power 2t, we get e power 0, 1 minus 2 into e power minus 2t into e power plus t, again we get e power minus t, right, plus e power minus 2t into 1 e power minus 2t. Okay. So this is 1 by 2 into, we write this one again, e power minus 2t can be written as e power minus t whole square minus 2 into e power minus t into 1 plus 1 square So nothing but a square minus 2ab plus b square, nothing but a minus b whole square. So 1 by 2 into e power minus t minus 1 whole square. Okay. So finally we got the answer for L inverse of 1 by s into s plus 1 into s plus 2 equal to 1 by 2 into e power minus 2 minus 1 whole square by the convolution theorem. Okay. So if you want to apply the convolution theorem, first take the given problem and consider the f bar of s and g bar of s, and then calculate f of t and g of t by the formulas L inverse of f bar of s and L inverse of g bar of s. After getting f of t and g of t, apply convolution theorem. What is the convolution theorem? L inverse of f bar of s, g bar of s equal to f of t star g of t, nothing but integral 0 to t e power integral 0 to t f of u g of t minus u du. Okay. So L inverse of f bar of s, g bar of s equal to f of t star g of t, nothing but integral 0 to t f of u g of t minus u du. Okay. Substitute all values and evaluate the integral, then we get the required answer. Right. So this is a convolution theorem related problem. Okay. So now coming to the next slide. Right. So convolution theorem over. Now I am going to discuss the second topic, that is Newton-Raphson method. So what is the Newton-Raphson method? When did you apply Newton-Raphson method? Okay. For here the Newton-Raphson method is one of the method to solve the algebraic and transcendental equations. So what is algebraic equation? What is a transcendental equation? So algebraic equation and transcendental equations are very, very important for mid to syllabus. Okay. So here an equation which is of the form f of x equal to 0 involves only the x. Okay. That equation is called algebraic equation. If equation involves logarithm or exponential or trigonometric functions, then that equation is called transcendental equation. Okay. So if equation involves logarithmic function or exponential function or trigonometric function, then equation is called transcendental equation, otherwise equation is called algebraic equation. Okay. So if you want to solve algebraic and transcendental equations, we have two methods. One is Regular-Falsy method, another one is Newton-Raphson method. So this is the one of the method to solve the algebraic and transcendental equations. Right. So if you for Newton-Raphson method, for calculating the iterations, we take the formula xn plus 1 equal to xn minus f of xn by f dash of xn. So how to solve the equation f of x equal to 0 by Newton-Raphson method? Okay. So first we have to consider the given equation. The given equation which is of the form f of x equal to 0. Okay. Which is of the form f of x equal to 0. Right. So when we take f of x equal to 0, identify f of x. Identify f of x. Okay. And substitute in x place 0, 1, 2, 3, so on up to get any two successive values or opposite signs. Okay. Opposite signs. So if you got opposite signs, so successive approximations are opposite signs, then stop the procedure and identify the interval. Okay. Identify the interval, that is a comma b. Okay. So after identifying the interval a comma b, we have to calculate initial approximation x naught. X naught equal to a plus b by 2. Okay. X naught equal to a plus b by 2. Right. So after calculating the x naught initial approximation, we have to write the formula by Newton-Raphson method xn plus 1 equal to xn minus f of xn by f dash of xn. Okay. So this method is fails when f dash of x is 0. Why? Because when we take f dash of x equal to 0, the function f of x n by f dash of x is undefined. Okay. So that's why this method fails when f dash of x equal to 0. Right. So now here apply this formula, calculate when we put n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 so on, we get x1, x2, x3. Okay. Right. So calculate all these values up to any two successive approximations are approximately equal. Okay. Up to minimum 4 or 5 decimal places. Right. So this is a procedure to solve the algebraic and non-transcendental equation by Newton-Raphson method. Right. So now right. So now I will explain the problem related to Newton-Raphson method. Here, see the question. Find the real root of equation f of x equal to cos x plus 1 minus 3x equal to 0 by Newton-Raphson method. Okay. So first we have to take the given equation. What was the given equation? Given equation is f of x equal to cos x plus 1 minus 3x equal to 0. Okay. Right. So after taking the given equation, we have to identify f of x. What is f of x? Cos x plus 1 minus 3x. Okay. Now substitute x equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 so on. Okay. So first one, f of 0. What is f of 0? Cos 0 plus 1 minus 3 into 0. Cos 0, 1. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 minus 3 into 0, we get again 2. It is greater than 0. Okay. Now calculate f of 1. F of 1. So how to calculate the iterations for Newton-Raphson method? If the equation contains trigonometry functions, then we can convert the calculator in radians mode. So this is the scientific calculator. Okay. So I am using the calculator calculating the values. Okay. So now f of 1. First I am changing the calculator mode in radians. Okay. Right. So now it was changed in calculator, changed in radians mode. Now calculate f of 1, that is cos 1 plus 1 minus 3 into 1. Okay. So we get minus 1.4596. Okay. So clearly it is less than 0. Okay. F of 0 is greater than 0 and f of 1 is less than 0. So opposite signs. So stop the process. Okay, and identify the interval. Therefore root lies between 0 and 1. Take this as interval 0 comma 1. This is a comma b form. So now a equal to 0 and b equal to 1. Now calculate initial approximation. Initial approximation, that is x naught equal to a plus b by 2. What is a? 0. What is b? 1. 0 plus 1 by 2. So x naught equal to 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is nothing but, so calculate చేయలేకపోతే calculate మామూలుగా calculator లో చేయండి, 0.5. x naught equal to 0.5. Right. So after getting x naught, we have to apply the formula Newton-Raphson method. Right. So now by Newton-Raphson method, we have xn plus 1 equal to xn minus f of xn by f dash of xn. Okay. So in the formula they are f of xn and f dash of xn. So we need f dash of x. Okay. So calculate f dash of x. Here, what is f of x? F of x is cos x plus 1 minus 3x. Okay. So derivative of f of x is nothing but f dash of x. Derivative of cos x minus sin x. Okay. Derivative of 1 0. Derivative of minus 3x minus 3. So finally we got f dash of x equal to minus sin x minus 3. Okay. So now apply Newton-Raphson method by putting n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. Okay. So now put n equal to 0. Okay. Then formula becomes x1 equal to x naught minus f of x naught by f dash of x naught. Okay. So what is x naught? X naught value 0.5 minus f of 0.5 by f dash of 0.5. Okay. Now calculate the value. Okay, in the calculator. So now 0.5 minus. So if you want to calculate x1 value, first put 0.5 minus. Okay, take the brackets for numerator and denominator. So bracket open, f of 0.5 bracket close divided by again bracket open, calculate f dash of 0.5 bracket close. Okay, right. So answer minus f of 0.5. What is f of x? Cos x plus 1 minus 3x. So cos 0.5. Okay, plus 1 minus 3 into 0.5. Okay, bracket close divided by again bracket open, f dash. What is f dash? Minus sin x minus 3. So minus sin 0.5. Okay, minus 3 bracket close, then press equal, then we get the answer 0.608518649. Okay, 0.608518,649. So this is x1 value. Now put n equal to 1. Okay, when we put n equal to 1, we get x2 equal to x1 minus f of x1 by f dash of x1. Okay, then what is x1? Already we know that x1 value 0.608518649, but we have to take only 4 values up to 4 decimal places, 0.6085. Okay, then 0.6085 minus f of 0.6085 by f dash of 0.6085. Okay, then calculate the value using calculator. We get the answer 0.607101878. Okay, right. So this is x2 value. Now put n equal to 2. Put n equal to 2. Then formula becomes x3 equal to x2 minus f of x2 by f dash of x2 equal to x2 value. Take x2 value up to 4 decimal places only, 0.6071. Okay, then 0.6071 minus f of 0.6071 by f dash of 0.6071. Okay, so calculate the value again, then we get 0.607101, 0.607101,648. Okay, so when we observe the x2 and x3, here x2 value 0.607101. Okay, here x3 value 0.607101. So up to 6 decimal places both x2 and x3 are equal. right? So therefore x2 and x3 are equal up to 6 decimal places, up to 6 decimal places. Okay, so therefore required root of the given equation is 0.607101. So this is the answer. This is the root of the given equation cos x plus 1 minus 3x equal to 0. Okay, so clear here the equation contains a trigonometry function. So I have calculated the value, calculated the root in radians mode. Suppose if the equation doesn't contain any trigonometry functions, then we calculate only the values using radians mode, doesn't radians mode, in degrees mode only. Okay, calculate the values in degrees mode only, right? So once again I will repeat the procedure. First we have to consider the given equation f of x and substitute 0, 1, 2, 3 so on up to get any two successive approximation or opposite signs. Then identify the interval which is of the form a comma b. After getting a comma b, initial approximation calculation by the formula x naught equal to a plus b by 2. Okay, so after getting x naught, write the formula by Newton-Raphson method. Xn plus 1 equal to xn minus f of xn by f dash of xn. So for Newton-Raphson method we need f dash of x. So take f of x and calculate f dash of x. Derivative of cos x is minus sin x, derivative of 1 is 0, derivative of minus 3x is minus 3, right? So now by putting n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 so on, we get the values x1, x2, x3 so on. Okay, and check when they are equal up to the 5 or 6 decimal places. Then we have to stop the process and write the equation. Required root is 0.607101. Okay, so this is the procedure to solve the algebraic and the translated equations by Newton-Raphson method. Okay, so now coming to the next slide. This is assignment for you. First one, find L inverse of 1 by s plus a into s plus b by convolution theorem. Okay, this is related to the convolution theorem. So already I will explain in the previous slide, right? So here how to find L inverse of 1 by s plus a into s plus b by using convolution theorem. Consider f bar of s and g bar of s. Okay, hint for this problem, f bar of s equal to 1 by s plus a. G bar of s equal to 1 by s plus b. Okay, right. So now coming to the second problem, find the real root of cos x minus x e power x equal to 0 by Newton-Raphson method. So here also equation involves trigonometry functions. So we should calculate the iteration values using calculator in radians mode only. Okay, right. So this is assignment for you. Okay, right. So now quiz questions. These are the quiz questions. The first one, convolution product is option A associative, option B commutative, option C both commutative and associative, the option D none. Okay, so now second one, which of the following is true? Right, option A 1 star f of t is not equal to f of t. Option B 1 star f of t equal to f of t. Okay, right. So now 1 star f of t equal to f of t. Option C 0 star f of t is not equal to 0. Last option, that is D, all. Right. Now coming to the third one, the Newton-Raphson method fails when first option f dash of x is negative, second one f dash of x is 0, third option f dash of x is too large, last option it was never fails, right? So now fourth one, if the first approximation root of the given equation, that is x cube minus 5x plus 3 equal to 0 is x naught equal to 0.64. Then you should calculate x1 by Newton-Raphson method. Options are 0.825, B option 0.672, C 0.721, D 0.656. Okay. So all of you should answer the quiz questions and assignment. Okay, and upload the assignment and answer the quiz questions by clicking the given link. Okay. Thank you very much.